sometime around 1996, I think. I stood here, outside the Early Learning Centre, with two brothers, my best mates, Kiarash and Carver, waiting for the number 11. That day, over the road was Captain Tap. He'd always been there, on the corner opposite. I remember reggae from the battered boombox on the ground, him performing his signature shuffle amongst the pigeons and passers-by that squabble over a scrap of bread or McDonald's fry on the pavement. They mostly paid him no mind. Sometimes a dropped coin. He seemed equally indifferent to both. His well-worn shoes keeping rhythm, sometimes rock, psychedelic dance, whatever pop song was popular, it didn't really matter. Once, he was the Earl of Mustard, sometimes Lord or Colonel. A living legend amongst street performers in London. 1969, he was filmed for a documentary, The London Nobody Knows. He became Jimmy Norris, and in the 80s, fronted a Belgian pop band called Veterans. They made albums. Captain Jimmy Lord Mustard, Earl of Tap, performed on national TV. Same shuffle, slightly hunched shoulders, arms, gracefully conducting his audience as heel and toe clicked out familiar rhythms. He sung about growing old, being a disco freak and tap. Back in 1921, he was George Pirie, teaching himself to dance age 10. 10 years later, music hall stages in a double act he himself described as terrible. Somehow, his performing partner was killed. And as Alistair MacDonald, George Jimmy Lord Mustard Colonel Earl of Tap hit the road. And as the decades danced by, he found himself in Oxford. 2006, Lord Mustard MacDonald fancied popping to London for a few days. He made the paper. A 95-year-old missing with 40 quid, slippers and a top hat. He slept on a roof and on the banks of the Thames, then came home. But that day, sometime around 1996, I think, Colonel Mustard, aka Captain Tap, jigged on the corner, opposite the Early Learning Centre, just up the road from M&S. He looked over and saw me and my mates waiting for the bus. 3 new teenagers, 13 or 14. Maybe we had fresh trims for our trip into town. Me, short back and sides with a flat top. Kiara and Carv, early versions of the curtains that would become their 90s obsession. That day, about 1996, Captain Tap sauntered across Queen Street, looked at me directly in the eye, leaned in and gently told me that I was Bob Marley. Not that I looked like him or that I was the next Bob to be. No, he said, "You're Bob Marley, you are." Smiled, blew me a kiss and shuffled back over the road, his feet never having missed a beat of his muscle memory honed tap. Me, Carver and Kiarash were left in hysterics.